Hello, it's another Harp 101, excuse me, Recorder 101, not harp, not doing Harp 101, although I've got a harp right behind me. Okay, Recorder 101. Just a few moments ago, I brushed my teeth. Mentioning it again? Because we don't want to blow bits of food particles into our recorders. It's possible to do. It generally causes this part, the labium, to get clogged. And if you've got a wooden recorder, that can be really hard to remove those food particles unless you really want to knock the block out. It's a little bit easier with our plastic recorders because it's easier to wash them. But still, those food particles get stuck in there. So mentioning it again. Oh yes, the exercise. Right, we're doing that. Stretching a bit. Warming my recorders. Why? I may have mentioned it before, mentioning it again. Warming the labium. In fact, warming the whole top part of the recorder can be very, very good for reducing the amount of condensation or spit that accumulates in a recorder. Easy to do in your armpit if you don't want to stick it down the front of your shirt or in various pockets if you have pockets. I have one very small pocket in this dress and it won't warm anything up. So, while you're doing the stretches, how much? It depends on you. And last week I re-mentioned these 15 minutes of practice. How much time would you do with stretches? A minute. How much time would you do exercises? 4 or 5 minutes. I mean, the exercises, finger exercises, those can be done quietly, silently even. Just, I've shown you before, resting the labium on your chin, just to practice moving your fingers and which fingers are moving where and how. 4 minutes. So that still gives you 10 minutes to practice. It's not difficult if you think of it that way. Have you been practicing? Have I? Well, I was doing fairly well until Thursday, and then I cut my thumb right on the edge. It's still really sore. And so since then, practicing. So with this in mind, I just did some testing to see can I do the half holes. F. How's the F on this one? This way. That one's been a problem all along. And last week I commented on sort of rocking the finger. That hurts. Can do it then. I rock the finger a bit. By the way, rocking the finger, other noises that you may be making that aren't quite what you want, I'm going to have a link in the description here on YouTube, and I'm going to have the link in the course itself to one of Sarah Jeffrey's TeamRecorder videos that she just did last week. I've been subscribed to her channel for several years now, but she was doing a very mundane, modern piece, working on that, showing different things. And as I was watching it and listening, I was thinking of all of us and the sometimes unexpected sounds that we make when we're trying to play the recorder, and saying to myself that I want to share this with you. Because sometimes when you're making unexpected sounds, these are things that you can actually use if you're playing mundane pieces like she's doing. And she's showing it to you. Of course, she's a professional, and the way she plays and everything is above and beyond what I will ever aspire to. So there's that. Okay, so we should be doing finger exercises. Today I'm going to introduce the second part of Les Bouffons. And so let's get on with that. And before I begin, I want to draw your attention to the heavy thick line that is coming in with the two dots. It ended our last piece. That's a repeat sign. And it means repeat the whole first part before you go on to the second part. You'll find another one of those at the end of the piece, which means repeat the second part twice. And last week I was suggesting that if this is a dance, and it's sort of referring to fools or clowns or something like that, so it can be somewhat awkward. You can begin slow, move it faster still, then slow it down a bit, and slow it down back to where you began. So that you can think of this as a whole performance where you're repeating the first part and the second part 3 different times at 3 different speeds. So you've got slowish, fasterish, faster, slowing it down again, and slowing it back to the original level. To give the people a chance to dance, to get faster, and to begin to catch their breath and slow down. So that's a way that you can think in terms of performance of this piece. So I'm going to go back to actually the very beginning to reteach myself where I'm coming from. Thumb. No, I've got that wrong. That's where you take the breath at the end of the second long D. Can't get my thumb in the right position. It's cushioned. So now we repeat it, but I'm not going to this time. So now we're going to try and go on to the next piece. Sopranos, tenors, 3 fingers, thumb, half hold. I'm going to have to rock my thumb, just a tad. Breathe. Okay, that's basically the tune. I'm not going to do it on the tenor today, even though I've got my tenor right here, because my thumb is sore. I could try doing it this way with my right hand. Basically, it's a good idea not to, because my right hand hasn't been trained, hasn't been working on these things. And it's retraining everything. Yeah. Now, Sarah, in last week's episode that I'm going to put in link in the description, talks about what happens and how to use that type of split note. So there's actually a use for it and times. So when you find that sort of thing happening, pay attention to what you're doing. At first, you'll just say, what am I doing? And it'll take a long time to figure out, is it your thumb? Is it one of the other fingers? Which finger? How do you do it? Do it deliberately until you can do it deliberately when you want to. It's kind of like teaching a dog not to bark. First, you have to teach it to bark and reward it, and then you have to teach it when you say silent. So this is something else you have to do. Okay, now since I particularly promised this is going to be new material for the altos, I'm going to deal with the altos. So again, we're starting from the basic position here. This is our C, all notes covered. That's the beginning. Now we're getting into the more difficult part, half-holing. So our first half-hole, I'm ignoring the repeat signs, is just taking your thumb off. And now we have the half-hold. And that's these three plus these three. And the thumb half-hold. Breathe. Half-hold. These fingers down. Okay. You've only gone up now to the A. The A being when you've got these 5 fingers and your thumb half hold. Remember, altos, just like the sopranos, when we're half holding, it's slightly more than half holding. It's more like you've got 3/4 of the hole covered. And like I was describing today for the sopranos and the tenors, sometimes you need to rock that thumb just a little bit to get the sound to be what you want. Okay, I'm going to call it quits for today and wishing you all sorts of success with this. And the basic plan right now is to get this practiced at a nice steady pace. And next week we'll try picking it up to a higher speed. Not very fast, but faster. Okay? Have a good week.